Hello, M. Strange here. I realize I've never done like a compositing tutorial or kind of walkthrough, and since I've animated and composited thousands of shots on my own movies now, and I'm able to come up with some like cool looking stuff that doesn't take a long time to render. That's pretty simple. So I thought I would share with you some of the things I'm doing for my new animated feature film, I Am Nightmare. So in this shot, from early in the movie, we see there's a character standing behind this stack of wood, looking at this place. And we got these nice glowy lanterns and this kind of nice mood and atmosphere going on here, right? So let's see what this started out as. So this is the shot out of the 3D renderer. So it's not too special, but the thing we're looking for or that we want out of our 3D render is just firstly what we want is just stuff to be highlighted or emphasized through the lighting. So we want contrast. So I didn't do that good of a job on this shot because there's some lighting here to emphasize this building, which needs to be in the shot, and this character needs to be emphasized too or focused on, but there's not too much light on her. She should have had some other light going on this stuff, but so that's all you ask. I mean, you don't want flat renders. You don't want a shot where there's nothing focused on with the lighting. You can fake it, but you kind of want something. So we have these lanterns in the shot, which are glowing, or they're luminant, but they're not glowing. They don't look cool enough. So we're going to do some things to make that stuff look better. So first, I'm just going to apply some levels to the plate just to bring out those lanterns a little bit more and to just push up the whites a little bit. So we have that. Second thing I'm going to do is just add a black solid behind everything because there's an alpha channel with this. Let's show you. So there's an alpha here because I put my skies in After Effects. I don't do them in 3D. So if we don't put that black, when I start adding glows and stuff, it'll blow out the sky. It'll be white. So we have that. Now let's look at some of the things that we have. I know out of a 3D renderer you can send out a ton of passes, but I make do with three. The RGBA or the beauty pass, which is what we're looking at. A depth pass, and that I render out of Z-Blur. You need your depth pass. It's invaluable to do tons of cool stuff. And a material luminance pass, so just the luminant materials to add glows and stuff like that. That's why I want that. So, and then I have some stock footage in here. I have some of my own dust that I filmed in a black room that I use for everything, for atmosphere. And I have my little star backgrounds, also another custom piece of stock that I made and use in my stuff. Usually, if the shot's moving, I'm going to export a camera from Cinema 4D and After Effects so I can lock the 2D stuff like the background stars and things to the camera so it moves in 3D. But I'm not going to do that in this one. I'm just going to focus on one frame. We'll just focus on the first frame. Or maybe the last one. Or maybe the first one. First one. Okay. So now, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to drop this little sky in there, or these stars, and scale it down. So now I have these stars back there. And that looks kind of sweet because we've got our stars. Now if I was doing this accurately, I would have like some kind of gradient or something applied from the ground up to make them fade, but this is like my little kids movie, so I'm using the logic of a child, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just kind of throwing stuff around and making it look how I want it to. So let's add some atmosphere to this shot. So how do we do that? We just put that on top. No, it's not that simple. We just screen that. No. Now you see there's dust all over this shot, but we want it to be applied according to the depth in the scene. So that's where our depth pass comes in, and we apply this, and then we do a Luma inverted matte. So now you'll see that now the atmospheric dust fades, gets stronger as it goes away from the camera. So let's turn it down, oops, not that, but this, to like 40. So we have some atmosphere in here. But what you'll see what happens is that it starts to brighten up the scene. So then I'll bring this in again and I'll make an adjustment layer that's going to be controlled by the depth pass, and then I'll put some curves on that, so then I can control the stuff that's further away from the camera, or the dust or the atmosphere or whatever, with this curves controller here, so I can tweak stuff out more. Now if you go back to this one, you'll see that we have all these like glowing lights, and that is super simple, and let's show you how to do that now. So I'm working in 32 bits per channel, so I get better lighting and color interactions when I'm using the transfer modes. So to do these glows, all I'm doing is making a yellowish warm solid like this, and then I turn this down so I can see it, and then this is literally all I'm doing for all of these. I'm just making these feathered masks for everything that I want to have, like the numbra or whatever of a light, or the light fall off, however you say that. Someone tell me how to say it right, I'm scared. So you just go in here like this, and this is a static shot, but you know, usually they're always moving, so then you would just animate the points of the mask, and you don't have to do it like accurately, you can do it really roughly, because it's such a subtle effect, like you're not going to notice, or no one will. I mean, someone will, but who cares? Most people won't. Kids won't. And so the way to sell this is through the mask feather. So we're going to turn it up to like 250, no, maybe 200, something like that. That. And I mean, if you wanted to be really accurate, you would like overlay some kind of noise in here, and you can even add a wiggle on the opacity to make it look like it's changing, whatever. So now we have some glow from these lanterns, and then there's something else that I added in this shot. If you look over here, because like I said, this character wasn't emphasized enough, so then I just did the same thing. And what I'm doing here, this is part of what's referred to as secondary color correction. So secondary color correction, a lot of it is that you're relighting the shot in post, and it's not very, I mean, from the stuff I've seen, it's not very sophisticated in what you're doing. I mean, there's more sophisticated tools, but it's just doing a lot of this stuff. Like, oh, we want to isolate this character or this thing, we want to add more light here, cut this light off. And so it's just a lot of this. So if you've never, you know, seen this before, secondary color correction, or thought about it, it's really easy to do, and you wouldn't think like, no, it can't be that that's the way they do it, it's too crude. But it's actually a really effective way of doing things. And again, you know, if this was animated, you would just keyframe that and then move this mask path along with the camera and do it really roughly. This one should be a little lower, just to bring in something there. And then if we go back over here, I have two layers, one motion blur, that doesn't matter here. Oh, I forgot the material luminance, that's right. So now we have the material luminance, which is all the glowing stuff. So we can add that on top here and go like screen mode. And then I like to use different glows. So I use this sapphire lighting glow like this, because it has this sweet mode where you can turn off the source opacity if you want. But I'm sure the built-in After Effects glow is fine too. I just got some of these fancier ones, so I better use them. So we got some glow going on here, and then if we want to be more effective, we would, let me rename this, what it is. We would put this underneath the curves so that it's being affected, as you know, the things that are further away are going to not be as bright as the things close up as it would be in real life. And then on top, I just have a little formula of a magic bullet looks with one of my presets of glow and level. So what I do, I just make one up and then paste it on as I get to a new shot. So these need to come down. They're a bit too hyphy. So we can do that. Maybe put it back up. And so that's kind of showing you how I'm doing these shots. Like this one's more subtle. I mean, I could turn these up. If we want more glow. More glow. So yeah, think about secondary color correction and doing things like this to make your shots pop. Because what you want to do, you know, when you're in the compositing phase, you don't want to have to rebuild your shots. They should look kind of interesting already, and then you're just adding like the shine or the flash on top of them. So, I mean, I wouldn't have put this out, like if it looked like this, I'm like, that looks plain. There's not enough color, there's not enough pop, there's not enough magic. And then, you know, the compositing, you're adding the magic and the atmosphere. And so, like, yeah, we have our dust back there, so we can turn that up. Get more atmosphere going on if we want it. So yeah, that's just a little look into how I do my compositing. So go check out secondary color correction. So it helps, or it really helps, to be in 32-bit, because then stuff blends a lot better when you do it in that mode. And actually, I think I'm supposed to use add mode on screen. Look at it. It's so glowy and nice. I just want to live there. So yeah, hope this is helpful to some people. I'm going back to what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, until next time, bye-bye.